Screw the rules, we've got weird facts. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 5 things you didn't know about Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've gotta get in there!
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at some lesser-known facts related to Yu-Gi-Oh!, a manga series that spawned films, a billion TV anime, and most importantly, card games. Number 5, Joey vs Yugi never happened in the manga.
What am I thinking? I can't give up. My sister's counting on me.
Perhaps one of the most iconic moments in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series was the duel between Yugi and his best friend Joey in the Duelist Kingdom arc. Who could forget the monsters, the traps, the spells, and that goddamn power ballad? Well, for those of you who didn't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Began as a manga series which was serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. Things unraveled a little differently in the original. Sure, the two make it to the finals to see who can face Pegasus, but they decide not to bother.
But don't you think it'd be easier if they just flipped a coin or something? Then we could get our match with Pegasus now.
That's right, Joey simply relinquishes his right to face Pegasus and lets Yugi take the spotlight. It kinda makes sense, but it's oh so anticlimactic. And no, their Battle City duel doesn't count.
When that fool realizes I've turned his best friend against him, he'll be completely devastated!
Number 4, Seto Kaiba is based on a real person.
I can't believe the little barking chihuahua already has 10 star chips. You earned them yourself, or did Yugi throw you a few bones?
Don't call me a chihuahua!
Seto Kaiba, the arrogant president of the Kaiba Corporation, was based on someone Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator Kazuki Takahashi actually knew. The story goes that one of Takahashi's friends introduced him to a fellow gamer in the hopes that he would teach him how to play. However, upon meeting him, the guy refused to have anything to do with the mangaka until he collected 10,000 cards.
Fine, I've heard enough of your nonsense. Senile old fool.
It may have ticked him off, but Takahashi soon realized that he liked the idea of a character who was so stuck up, he'd refuse to play against someone whom he deemed a lesser opponent. And so our favorite Blue Eyes fetishist was born.
Say what?
Hey! Surprise, surprise!
Where does he get this stuff?
Number 3, 4 kids filed for bankruptcy because of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Long ago, when the pyramids were still young, Egyptian kings played a game of great and terrible power.
4 Kids Entertainment was the company responsible for dubbing Yu-Gi-Oh! TV shows in English, thus helping to establish a fan base in many English-speaking countries. While much of what they did was ultimately censored because of cross-border copyright laws, they still did a bang-up job to keep the show entertaining for kids.
Pika pika!
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
However, they eventually got into some hot water when on March 29, 2011, TV Tokyo sued them. The basis of their lawsuit was simple. 4 Kids Entertainment had been making illegal deals with other companies for Yu-Gi-Oh! Licensing rights, and then misreporting royalties and falsifying invoices. Less than a month later, 4 Kids filed for Chapter 11. They'd eventually restructure as 4K Media Entertainment, but the burn was definitely felt.
だがその代償として一番大事なものを失う。
Number 2, Konami didn't make the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game.
That's the way life goes, Joey. Never as you've planned. The world is a very arbitrary place, isn't it?
Chances are that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards you've been collecting and battling with for years are made by Konami. After all, their cards have been circulating since the late 90s. However, you may be surprised to learn that they weren't the first company to capitalize on the growing popularity of Kazuki Takahashi's manga series. In 1998, Bandai scored the licensing rights from Toei Animation to start producing Yu-Gi-Oh! Merchandise.
I keep my special cards in here.
They'd ultimately release 3 generations of cards before Konami officially took over as the sole producers of Yu-Gi-Oh! Products. In 2009, Konami's version would become the best-selling trading card game of all time, as at that point they'd sold 22 billion cards.
Yay! You did it!
Alright!
Number 1, Yugi makes a ton of misplays in the series. In the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, protagonist Yugi wasn't immune to making the occasional illegal maneuver. In fact, he did it quite often. There's a whole load to choose from, whether it's repeatedly summoning Revival Jam to deck the mime even though possession goes back to the original holder when it hits the graveyard, or that absolutely bonkers thing with the giant soldier of stone and the moon. For shame, Yugi, for shame.
Crash Sword!
Yeah, we realize we sound like total geeks right now, and you can probably blame this on Takahashi and Konami still trying to iron out the rules of the game while the series was ongoing, but still, those genius mid-duel breakthroughs suddenly don't seem so cool anymore. King of games, my ass.